If you're anything like me, I'm sure one of your favourite ways of catching up with friends is over a coffee and a bun at your local coffee shop. In my university days, I visited my regular spot most days to see friends and to study, but mostly to see friends. On the wall behind the counter hung a large chalkboard separated into smaller rectangular spaces. In each space was a name and something off the menu, for example, John Smith, Americano, or Sarah Brown, salted caramel cupcake. The idea behind the board was that as you paid at the till before leaving, you could pay for a treat for a friend in advance. When that person, say John Smith or Sarah Brown, came into the shop and saw their name, they were in for a nice surprise. It was always quite touching when you saw your name on the board. Someone had thought of you and given you a gift. The natural response then would be to do the same for someone else by paying the gift on as you left, saying someone else's name and buying them a treat. Generosity is inspiring, especially when you are the recipient. When somebody blesses you with their generosity, you in turn want to do the same by expressing generosity for somebody else. And it's this fundamental idea that underpins God's purposes for his chosen people, Israel. We saw in our last session the beginning of God's redemptive plan and his promises to Abraham. Through this one man, God's chosen nation, Israel, will come. The rest of the Old Testament is really the story of this chosen nation. What a blessing to be one of God's favoured chosen people. They would be the foremost beneficiaries of God's generosity. But there is a purpose behind the extraordinary blessing they'd receive. Like the customers of my favourite coffee shop during my uni days, they're to pay it forward. The chosen nation have been blessed for a reason. They have been blessed to be a blessing to all nations by making his name known.